All right, trade pros, welcome to morning market update for this beautiful January the 6th of 2020. Where are we? This is George, Trade Pro Academy. Hope you guys had a great weekend. If you're just joining us for the first time in 2020, welcome. There's been some volatility early on. All traders are now back at their desks today. You can expect to see a little bit of a pickup in the trade. And for all intents and purposes, the holidays are over. All right, so we're back to 100% work mode. I got big news for you guys. I think you're all going to hear this at the same time today. Something special happened in December, and I'm excited to release it. You know, a lot of the time you guys have asked me, hang on one second, let me just mute this question. I've heard a lot of people ask me over the years, hey, George, what's your story? Like, how'd you start trading? And, you know, it's not really about me. I like to help you guys. I like to spend the time helping each and every one of you improve. But I figured, you know, my story deserves sharing. I need to tell it. I'd love for you guys to read it because you're going to learn one thing. It wasn't a direct flight path from A to B. There are a lot of twists and turns and trials and tribulations. And I wanted to motivate you guys, inspire you to know that, you know, I wasn't born out of the womb as a trader. It took a lot of energy and time to develop to be what I would consider successful. I don't know if I'm what other people consider successful, but what I consider to be successful. And so I wrote a book about it to tell you my trials and tribulations. That book will be out on January 16th on Amazon. It is complete. You can purchase a hardcover or an ebook copy, and we're going to mark it down for one day, January 16th. I'll mark it down at cost to make sure that you guys who've been supporting us for a long time get an opportunity to get it the cheapest it ever will be. It's a workbook as well. So it's my story, the first couple chapters, but then at the end of each chapter, there's an exercise for you to consider your journey. The whole purpose of the book was to tell you my story, but also to get you to reflect on yours. And that's the whole idea behind it. If you're on board to help support, the idea would be to all get in there and get a copy on January 16th. I'll keep you updated in the process as we come up. That's next Thursday morning. All right. We also did a review on the podcast for it. So I'm really excited about this. If you guys could all get the copy on January 16th, that's when it launches. And let's make it the #1 bestseller on Amazon. How fun would that be? All right. I know we can do it. I believe in all of you. And I worked hard on it. And I want to help Steven, or I want to thank Steven, who's our moderator, for helping me edit the book. He put in a lot of work, and it's been a fun journey. All right, now let's talk about the market. This morning, stocks are gearing up for opening in the loss territory. We've gapped lower on the S&P. Dow Jones is in for about a 200-point drop plus, based on the escalations and tensions out of Iran and the Middle East. Donald Trump of the weekend said he's locked and loaded to hit 52 Iranian sites, representing the 52 soldiers that were once held captive before. And so that was an escalation of this situation, and obviously markets didn't like it. Equity sold off. Gold and oil ripped. Oil for the fact that, you know, companies are nervous for supply disruptions, and gold ripped for the fact that it's safe haven and the money has to go somewhere. Iran ditched the nuclear accord and enrichment restrictions they had as part of the 2015 deal after Donald Trump pulled out of it in 2018. It's not really a big retaliation. There is going to be a retaliation. I think everyone expects it. And the bigger and more severe the retaliation, the more the S&P 500 is going to drop. If Iran wants to go to war, I'm telling you right now, S&P 500 is crashing. Oil's getting to about $90 a barrel. Right? But we don't want to see that. Believe me, there's better ways to make money than making profits off of other people's losses. That's not what trading is about. All right. And be one of those things where I'll have my head down if that happens. I'll trade. Don't get me wrong. I'll hit it big. I'll make a ton of money. But I'm going to donate. I'm going to try to help out in this cause. All right. Can't just make money on the back of people's losses. I don't feel good about that. All right. So I hope that doesn't happen. If it does, there's going to be a lot of volatility. Gold found its way nearly to $1,600 an ounce, the highest level it's been in the last 7 years. So this escalation's obviously pushed gold prices up. Defense spending around the world is escalating. The United States spent $2 trillion on military equipment, said Donald Trump. We're the biggest and by far the best in the world. If Iran attacks an American base or any American, we'll be sending some of that brand new equipment their way and without hesitation. That's a Donald Trump tweet over the weekend. All right. If you're tracking the iShares US Aerospace and Defense ETF, the symbol is ITA. That thing's been on a tear. It's rallied. A lot of defense stocks are also rallying on this. The ITA ETF is up 70% since Donald Trump was elected on November 8th of 2016, with S&P up around 50% in that same time period. So defense stocks have outperformed the broad market. All right, give that a little bit of a ponder. This escalation catches the market off guard and a lot of traders. I don't think there was a lot of expectation for this event to happen. It caught a lot of people by surprise. The timing of it, drones were shot down, ships were captured by the Allies, and this kind of came in at a seemingly odd moment, just offbeat, if you will. And so a lot of people are scratching their head, but this is escalating, and it could get more tense, and things could get really bad. What could Iran do? What are some potential retaliations? Right? There's no shortage of targets for Iran in the Middle East for U.S. allies. There's a lot of bases. There's absolutely no shortage of targets they could get. So they could go with that approach, hitting small bases, and making threats, etc., but on a small scale. To hit the mothership, it would be to launch an all-out attack on the U.S. bases in Israel, where it's, I forget what it's called, something fifth naval base for the U.S. military. That's pretty much their central hub. So that could be the most tense situation. That would lead to an all-out war. It wouldn't be good. So depending on the severity of the response, it'll be dictated to the severity of the stock market drop. I can't predict it. For all we know, we might never hear anything about this. S&P is back up to new all-time highs. But I do know that right now the fear is priced into the stock market. In other news, which no one cares about anymore, is the U.S.-China trade deal. There are delegations on the way to sign the deal between January 13th to 15th. The signing of this phase one deal would happen on January 15th at the White House. On any other day where there's no threat of war, the market's up on that news. Right now, it doesn't really give a crap about that. What's more important is the tension here and how that's going to be resolved. One thing a lot of traders don't learn until years into this business, some never learn it because they flunk out with blowing out their capital, is that the market discounts information that's unknown, that's risky, that's a perceived potential of unknown outcomes. Anything that's scary out there will make the market drop more than anything that's optimistic. And so it takes people a long time to learn that. You could choose what facts to focus on. You could say the trade deal is getting signed, the economy is doing good, labor markets are tight, the Fed's stimulating again, go S&P. But if you conveniently choose to forget the one thing that everyone cares about, you're going to be long and getting stopped out all the way down. So you got to really shift your attention on the one thing that causes the most worry, because that's what dictates where markets go. It's not optimism that drives markets higher. It's the lack of worry that pushes it higher. That's the real truth. The more fear there is, the more it goes down. So it's not optimism that drives it. It's fear, and a lack of it pushes the market up. You could see that with the trade war spat. Okay, so that's where we're at this morning. We're starting 2020 with some volatility. I think today we sell the rallies. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. Sell the effing rip. The bear going down. We're going to try to sell rallies early on. You can see we're getting lower lows, lower highs the overnight session. Some inventory to the downside that could get tested. In Asia, Japan's down 2%. Hong Kong's down 0.8%. China's flat. India's up 1%, almost 2%, rather. In Europe, all equity indices down across the board. London down 1%. Paris 1.2%. Frankfurt down 1.7%. Futures in the U.S. down 0.7% across the board. NASDAQ up down 0.8 rather. The assets that are up are all commodities mainly. Crude oil is up 1.1%. Still is actually on the overnight high, was up more than 1.1%. We tracked up to 64.72 on the futures market for the WTI. Brent hit $70 a barrel from last that I saw overnight. All right. And gold is up 1.8% to 1579, currently trading 76.40. And Bitcoin's up 1.7% as well to mid 7,000s. So we're getting a risk-off scenario where money's flowing out of equities and into safe haven assets. All right, this morning on the calendar at 9:45, we're going to have PMI Services Index, and that's it for the day. Things do pick up later on in the week. And this week, the first full week of 2020 for traders, on Friday, we're going to get the non-farm payrolls report, which means Wednesday morning, we also get the ADP numbers. They give us a little bit of a foreshadow to what we could expect on Friday. So we're getting back in. It's going to be volatile. I think sell rallies this morning to start. And if we take out some prior swing highs, then we could convert to the upside temporarily. I'd be nervous on the long side today. All right. I'd be very nervous because at any moment, the news could come out with a further escalation. To get long for me, I would have to be confident that we're kind of at the trough of risk rather than, still on the way down. because if it turns out there's going to be more escalation, more response by Iran, something that wasn't priced in, markets are going to go down very fast with very little volume as everyone scrambles to exit. Think about this. If you're in the club and there's a fire in the middle of the dance floor and there's only one emergency exit, ain't everybody getting out. That's just the truth. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. We're going to open up the trading room, and everyone's back at their desk. I'm excited. Love you guys all. Hope you had a great New Year celebration. And 2020 is our year. TRADEPRO Academy and all of you, our whole community, this is our year. We're going to make some great things happen. Love you guys. Have a great day. Got to open up trading room. I'll see you later, YouTube. Thank you, Will. Chris, what up? Craig, what does they say society when money is made from death? Craig, not always. Craig, let's be optimistic here. Money is also made from helping people. I think in 2020, being around in 2020 at this moment is the most convenient life's ever been. It's the easiest to make money, start a business, to be profitable. All right. It's the easiest for convenience. Everything can just drop in your lap. Literally, drones are dropping packages. Uber Eats is bringing food right to your mouth. One time they'll probably even start to chew it for you in 2020. It's a world of convenience and opportunity. But yeah, I agree with you. When war happens, money gets made a lot in oil, especially. But it's not necessarily a good thing. We got to remember and be humble. But it is our job. As traders, never feel bad about doing what you're doing. If there's a war and you make hundreds of thousands of dollars, don't feel bad about it. All right, that's your job. Step on it, make the money. And if you feel bad and you want to do something, use that money to do good. All right, but it's your job to do that. It's our job to make money when the opportunity is there. All right, guys, have a good day. I got to open up trade room. Craig, way to get me going there, bud. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Trade pros in the room. Let's get started. I'm going to send it over to Box.